in my head, per usual. Fed the voices in my mind, now they call me delusional. Zaey ain't been the same for a while. Take a ride, walk a mile in my shoes. No wonder I had thoughts of suicide.
Greetings from the Southside of the universe. It's your cousin Zaey de la Soul. Welcome back to the second episode of Cookin with Soul. I know you're probably thinking, damn, is they gonna come back and make the second episode? Unlike Corey Kenshin, I don't disappear for 9 months, okay? I might disappear for a week or two, but I'm gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna show up. I ain't gonna disappear and just leave, you know what I'm saying? But let me not do too much, okay? Anyway, today in this video, we are going to be making something from start to finish. I know in the last video, I heavily sampled something. Well, I actually sampled 2 records, but I want to do something different, and I want to kind of just really kind of, make something from start to finish. So without further ado, let's get to cooking with soul. Okay, so I made these chords, right? I use this VST called Ripcord to make these chords. Now, for those that don't know what Ripcord is, it is this VST that you can use to make chords within the presets that you upload into the software. And I had got these presets from this artist called Musician's Paradise. And they do, you've probably seen them pop up on your Instagram, pop up on your TikTok. I'm going to pull up some of their videos on here so y'all can see them. But yeah, you've probably seen them pop up on your Instagram and your TikTok and your YouTube, even on YouTube. I'm going to leave a Instagram link in the description and a YouTube channel in the description so y'all can go check them out and show them love. But I went onto their Patreon and found these free packs that they have up on their Patreon. I'm also leave a Patreon up there for the people that, you might be using Ripcord and want to, mess around and try to create something. And I actually downloaded their contemporary hip hop preset, the free version of it. And I uploaded one of the presets in there and messed around with some chords, and I got this. Now, obviously, I just want to let people know that for those that have never used Ripcord, Ripcord is not like a VST itself. You have to route it to an actual VST, a third-party VST that you downloaded, which the VST that I used was Sine Player. Sine Player has it's a big library. It has pianos, it has horns, bass guitars, acoustic guitars, flutes, even has choir stuff if you need choirs or whatever the case may be, whatever type of beat you're making or whatever type of thing that you're producing, it has that as well. And I used 2 different presets to make my chords. I always like to stack my chords to kind of make them thicker. So what I did was I used the Rhodes preset and I used the felt preset. The Rhodes piano and the felt piano. And that sounds together, that sounds like this. Okay, now, after doing that, after humanizing the chords, strumming the chords and everything, and trying to make them sound more humanized, I copied those chords and then pasted those chords into FL keys and selected the dark piano preset. And what I did was I wanted to come up with a top line melody in the dark piano FL keys preset. because I didn't want it to just be the chords playing. I wanted to like, okay, let me play something catchy, you know, maybe like a catchy little tune. And when I was hearing these chords, I was really thinking about Tyler the Creator. And I like what he does in his production. Like he really just like he always has like these cool like different top line melodies or whatever the case may be. So I came up with something, and that something is this. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Zay, why does all this shit sound hella dry? Drier than some sand. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I know it sounds extra dry right now. Okay? So, what I did was to spice it up was I added some effects. All right, so for my Rhodes piano, what I added was I added a fruity reverb. I added a delay. And for the delay, I just did I used the chorus preset. And I used a fruity flangus. And I think, what did I use? I used the classic preset. And I also added a parametric EQ because I wanted to boost some of the highs. I boosted some of the higher frequencies. And for my felt piano, I added a parametric EQ to cut out some frequencies and stuff. And I cut out some frequencies in the higher range, and kind of had a high shelf and a low shelf. Is that what it's called? A high pass and a low pass. I don't know why I said high shelf and a low shelf. To kind of just cut some frequencies out that I really didn't need. And I added a fruity chorus, and I used the fat clean preset. And I used a fruity reverb. And I think I just used like the drum room preset. I believe that's what it was. No, that wasn't. That was not the fruity drum room preset. I think I just kind of freestyled with this one. I just kind of messed with the knobs and stuff to get to where I got something that I liked. And lastly, I did the fruity flanger. And for the fruity flanger, I did the Bad Leslie preset. It kind of gave it like this wobbly feeling, which I'll play in a second. But that's pretty much all the effects that I added for the chords. Now I also added some additional things. I added a bass, of course, and I used the Sine player, and it's the Crux electric bass preset that they have in there, and it comes with a lot of different basses. I used their P bass preset, and it sounds like this. Oh, and for the effects for the P bass, in Sine player, I added some EQ to cut out the highs, and I added Decapitator, which is a saturation plugin to just kind of like thicken up and saturate the bass, because originally, like from what you just heard, it sounded too dry and it sounded too light when I played everything together. So this is how that sounds now. Okay, lastly, I also added some horns, and yes, I used Sine player. A lot of the sounds that I made, a lot of the sounds are coming from Sine player. It's really a dope plugin. So I'm gonna leave it in the description. So if you want to go download it for yourself, go download it. I used the horns. I came up with some horns in Sine Player. I also came up with some arpeggiated chords using the Wurlitzer preset in Sine Player. I also have a string section, kind of like at the tail end of the beat. And I also have a glockenspiel. Now for the glockenspiel, I use the Flex VST, which is a stock plugin in FL Studio. So unless if you're an FL Studio user, which you probably have some stock plugins on your Ableton or Logic Pro or whatever lame ass DAW use, cause ain't nothing comparing to FL Studio. But nah, on some real shit though. We used the Glockenspiel, and I added some effects. I'm not gonna go into great detail with the effects that I used. Like, if y'all want to see me make a video where I make a beat from start to finish with the Cooking with Soul series, let me know. Or I make a series where not a series, but I make an episode where I go really in depth with all the effects and you know, all that good shit. You know, let me know. But yeah. So after adding effects, I added some reverb. I added some decay, not fruity delay. I added a parametric EQ for all these things, and some reverb, a little bit of reverb, not a lot. And yo, what's up, y'all? I know I'm shirtless and I got my bonnet on. If you say anything offensive, you're anti-black, okay? But past Zaey forgot to mention that when I made all of the chords and the stuff, the other thing, when I made everything in the beat, before I got to the drums, the tempo was 156 BPM. I then exported all of the sounds and turned them into audio files, and then took the BPM and dropped it down to 78. And then I started with the drums. So here is what the beginning of the song sounds like. And then after I play this, we gonna get into the drums. Let's get into these drums. All right. So I was really trying to go in my bag with these drums. At first, I was trying to make some hard hitting drums. You know what I'm saying? But I thought about it and said, nah, let me dial it back with the drums, because you know, I feel like I'm low key with everything going on in the melodies and the chords and stuff. I feel like I'm already doing too much with that. So let me not do a lot with the drums and stuff. I'm gonna just keep it simple. You know, just keep it simple with this simple little drum pattern. And I have some unique little drums in there. Nothing crazy. I layered my kick with 2 kick patterns. I have I did even use a snare. At first I was going to use a snare, but I was like, nah, the snare's too harsh. We need something soft. So I used like this percussion that I found. And I have like this other percussion that's hidden, that kind of hits like later on in the drums, when the drums is going, it's hitting later on. It's not hitting at the exact time, but it's hitting kind of off into the in later on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play it for y'all. Y'all see what I'm talking about. Now, for my drums, I added some EQ for certain things. My hi-hats, of course, I added a little bit of reverb, kind of turned the knob down a little bit. Um, Cut out some frequencies within all of the respective drum sounds. And now that perk you just heard, I added some delay so that when it plays, it's kind of like giving off like this echoing sound. I used the ping pong preset in Fruity Delay. Oh, also, what I did was I took all of my drum sounds and ran it through a mix bus, and used this free plugin called Refire, which basically Refire is like this plugin that it like makes your drums knock a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It makes your drums a little more thicker, makes them a little more fatter. And I ain't want to go too crazy with that because again, I ain't want my drums to overpower the you know the other elements of this beat, you know. And after doing that, this is what that sounds like. I'm not gonna take up any more of y'all time. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things. I hope you found this video very interesting and entertaining. Be sure to hit the like button, okay? Hit the subscribe button. Join the Soul Swim Network family. We are now at 119 subscribers, and I would love for you to be the 120th subscriber. Join the Soul Swim Network today, okay? We're growing every day. Hey, you know, we a beautiful family over here. You know what I'm saying? We love everybody. You know, not everybody, cause some of y'all be moving weird, like, you know what I'm saying? But look though, this has been your Cuzzo. And make sure to go check out my music because yes, I am a rapper. I make music, okay? I don't just make beats, I make music. I'm gonna leave all of my music in the description below. You can go and check out my brand new EP, Flowers Bloom in the Darkest of Places. It's out right now on Bandcamp. I got physical CDs, you feel me? I got 3 packages I gotta ship off right now at this very moment. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, tap in, show love to the kid, and as always, this has been your Cuzzo, and much love from the Southside of the universe.